I'm with Usama Allati from Betsaho. Now, Osama, you're a musician. Have you always been interested in music?
Yes, since childhood. I started playing guitar at the age of 7 or 8 years old through my cousin, who was a guitarist also. And I joined the National Conservatory of Music on the age of 10 years old, which is now called the Edward Said National Conservatory of Music, studying classical guitar for like 5 years, from 1996 till 2001, I guess.
And when did you get your first instrument?
On the age of 10 or 11. I was using my cousin's guitar at that time, and when I joined the conservatory, I bought. My dad bought me my first guitar, of course, at the age of 10.
And how many instruments do you play?
Only guitars. I learned a bit of a piano, but I'm not a pianist. I don't know how to use it anymore, lack of practice. But I only play guitars, all kinds of guitars.
Now, you just bought a very special guitar into Palestine. Tell us about that.
Yes, last year I was going through pages on Facebook for luthiers who build bass guitars, and that MG bass guitars luthier Mauricio Costa, who's a Brazilian guy living in New Hampshire in the USA, built some interesting basses, and they definitely attracted me. So I contacted the guy, I expressed my interest in endorsing them, and I always wanted something called the extended range basses, which are more than, the basic 4 or 5 strings basses. Extended range basses, go from 6 strings up. Crazy now. So I wanted a 9 strings bass, which is the only and one of a kind bass in the Middle East. So they built me that bass in 4 months time, and I started enjoying it when it came here, and doing recordings with it and shows also. It's an amazing instrument, a lot of wood in there, a lot of metal, amazingly built. And I started endorsing MG bass back in February, I guess it was 16th of February 2017. It's an amazing instrument, and I'm definitely enjoying it.
Now, it has 9 strings. Is there anything like this in Palestine?
Nope, not even in the Middle East. It's the first one-of-a-kind instrument. It has my name carved on it, and it carries the serial number of 0001. So it's the first actually to enter the Middle East.
And was this custom handmade?
Definitely, 100%. It's called, the bass is called the Oasis custom handmade 9 strings bass. Oasis is the model of the bass, and it's done by hand 100%.
What's it made of?
The body is made of Mbuea wood, Brazilian wood, and 3 multiple layers of mahogany, Brazilian mahogany. And the neck is made of 3 types of wood, which are the maple, mahogany, and wenji.
Does it sound different than a regular guitar?
A little bit, yes. It has the character of the bass, the 4 or 5 strings bass, the well-known basses. It definitely has the sound, the character, the feel, the playability, but it also has extended range strings for extended range playing of scales and octaves and notes, and for progressive music. It's a bass. It's definitely a bass, but the higher frequency strings make it somehow sound like an electric guitar, but still has the frequency of a bass. So it's definitely 1,000,000,000% a bass.
How long did it take to make?
4 months or 4 to 5 months. Mauricio started working on it at the end of February, and he finished it probably in the middle of June. And I got it back in September 2017.
Do you need to be an octopus to play 9 strings?
That's an amazing thing. I had some difficulties with my left hand wrist. It's a wide neck, so you have to get used to it. You get some difficulties in the beginning, but once you get used to it, things flow naturally.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what's it like to play?
It's like riding an aeroplane, man. It's fun to play, joy to play. It's a challenge, a big challenge, but it's fun to play all the way.
Have you been able to play abroad with it as well?
No, I haven't taken it abroad with me till now, but this coming summer I have tour with the Shepherd's Band in Poland, probably Italy and France, and I'm going to go to Corsica also, Corsica Island. I'm gonna take it with me since I'm playing and collaborating with a Corsican bass sensation called Jean Baptist Basil. We have released one video together, and now we're gonna release a flamenco video also. So I'm gonna take it up with me definitely. Till now it didn't leave Palestine, but this summer it's gonna leave Palestine for the first time.
And now you're an official endorser for the guitar in Palestine?
Yes, I'm an official MG bass endorser, the first official MG bass endorser in the Middle East. I got my friend from Ramallah, Khalil Turjman. He's also an amazing bassist. I persuaded him to order an MG bass, and he's definitely loving it to the max.
And I understand that you and your guitar have been invited to a wedding.
Definitely, yes. My friend and qanun player, Jaber Jubran from Bet Sahur, is an amazing qanun player, close friend of mine. He wanted to make some fun with me, so he invited he wrote a special invitation for the bass, and for, of course, my family, and one for me. So it was hilarious. I put it on Facebook, and everybody was laughing about it.
Now you started something called Music Expands Borders. Tell us a little bit more about that.
It's actually called Music Exceeds Borders. I met Gene, my French friend and brother, bass sensation from Corsica, on Facebook. He was admiring my bass when I put the endorsement video for it, and I contacted him and we became friends. And I expressed my interest in collaborating with him. He's an amazing slapper on the bass and does these amazing bass chops. So I suggested the idea, it's my artistic vision, I suggested the idea on him on collaborating, 9 strings bass versus 4 strings bass, and then suggestions started coming up. And Gene is a productive guy, he's amazing. So he started that page on Facebook. I gave him, we like talking about music and borders and people and backgrounds and different genres. So me and Jane came up with that idea to start something called Music Exceeds Borders, which is something that covers only bass stuff for now, playing different genres, but we decided to make some flamenco. So I used my flamenco guitar, we recorded something, and I'm going to film the video for that tomorrow, and it's going to be out like in a few days.
And tell us a little bit about East to East project as well.
East to East is a project that I started before getting to know Gene with a friend of mine, Italian-American bassist called Charles Lambiassi from USA, America. He's also an amazing bassist. He plays fretless basses. He's got his different techniques and touches that I loved. I composed the piece in collaboration with him, and we've put that promo of it on YouTube, and we're gonna continue working on it soon. But these days I'm paying more attention to Music Exceeds Borders. It's my main project, and I'm focusing 1,000,000,000% on it.
Now you've been to Jordan and you played to refugees. Tell us a bit about that.
Yes, I've been a bassist in the Shepherds Gospel group for like 20 years now, and I'm one of the founders of that group. We got an invitation to play in Jordan for the Iraqi and Syrian refugees, which is a humanitarian mission that I'm definitely proud of. We took gifts for those kids from the Kids of Bethlehem, from Greek Latin schools here. We played for those kids. We had a nice tour for like 3 days in different places in Jordan. We played for those, tormented kids, and it brought a lot of sadness to our heart to see those kids suffering and their families. Leaving your homeland and being exiled from your homeland is not something easy to deal with. So we played for those kids. We gave them, gifts and presents, and we tried our best to bring joy to their hearts, the joy of Christmas. And it was a 100% successful mission.
Do you find playing music relaxing?
Definitely, all the way. Since day one, definitely.
So in some ways you're like a modern day King David playing his harp in the fields to his sheep, and you're in the shepherd's fields playing in the shepherd's fields.
I like to hit the stages, definitely. Stage is my life. Studios as well. I like to hit the stage. I like to play in front of people. Playing guitar makes me alive, makes my soul alive, makes me forget my daily work pressure and life problems and obstacles. So yeah, definitely. I feel like a king on stage. Hopefully I am. But yeah, I like hitting the stage definitely with different bands, playing different genres. Showing my humble, simple techniques to people and playing my heart out on stage. Definitely.
Do you see your lover's music as a gift from God?
Definitely. It's definitely a gift from God. God gives you that gift and you have to work on it. All the way.
Are you seeing that music is helping to change the community?
Yes, definitely. I see music that way. It's a tool that you use to overcome borders, to bring people together from different, ethnicity, different backgrounds, different cultures. So definitely music is the linking part. And in Palestine, bands are rising up, and new bands get to be born, every once in a while. And I think that music in Palestine is developing and taking a good track. to the future, definitely.
So music can bring peace to the Holy Land.
Yes, I believe so, definitely.
What's your prayer finally for the music that you do?
I hope that I'm trying my best ever since day one. I'm trying my best to make my music reach to the world. I'm in love with different genres, and I try to address different people through these different genres, hoping someday that I'll get to be well known more than I am here locally. I look to go international. I've went international a few times, but that wasn't enough to me. It doesn't satisfy my thirst. And I hope someday, I'm working hard on it, so I hope someday I'll get the chance to hit big stages outside and take the Palestinian message with me also to the international stages.
Okay, Sama, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.